That's why I was so worried about trying to duplicate my success with another Ask Nick.
Your lightning doesn't strike a bottle in half twice.
Well, let's see if it does.
One, two, three, four. Welcome to the 45-minute broken up monologue for $10 only called PMZ. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah! Bum, bum, bum.
I feel like Matt was waiting for me to wait and say something, but I can't think of anything to say.
You can't?
Bum, bum, bum.
It's such a relief that we are drinking seltzers with actual vodka in them and not malt liquor. You said you were going to reach out to White Claw to get the shows sponsored. Can you reach out to this company instead, please? Because if we're sponsored by White Claw, you pieces of trash can go on all day, but I can't really contribute anything because White Claw is absolutely disgusting. But if we do this, all three of us can get on board.
Dylan is referring to the brand Endless Afternoon Hard Seltzer.
Hands down, the best seltzer I've ever had. Like you said, it's not made with that trash malt liquor, but real vodka and juice.
Normally, I'm not going to hawk anybody's products unless I'm being paid, but I stand behind this product wholeheartedly. Check out Endless Afternoon Hard Seltzer.
It's gluten-free, 96 calories, made with real juice that you can actually taste, and 4.5% alcohol. It'll get you where you need to be.
It doesn't read on the can, but I have to say this. I'm already feeling a healthier living lifestyle.
That
My dick's bigger.
That quote-unquote competitor, White Claw, is sheer piss compared to this. I would never drink it again had I had the choice, but sometimes it's the only thing readily available, so I might sometimes, but I'd rather have this.
Hey, guys, I just looked at my phone, and in my bank account, I have $2 million.
My vagina's bigger.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Hey,
So Endless Afternoon Hard Seltzer. What a thing we should all strive for. The Endless Afternoon.
Hey, Nick, why don't you have Brian whack this up and send that over to those people over there at corporate headquarters and see if we can get them to pay us to talk about.
I love an Endless Afternoon too because
that's what I was doing the whole time.
Oh, I love the golden hour. It's my favorite part of the day. You know, little 5, 6 o'clock. The sun's starting to crest over.
Yes.
Could golf in that for hours and hours and hours. I love an Endless Afternoon. But guys, we have a lot of stories to get to.
Yes, we do.
And I just want to say it's a good shift for us to not go after White Claw. They're not very content creator friendly.
No.
Famously, the No Laws While Drinking clause was created by Trevor Wallace, and they, instead of thanking him for having the summer of White Claw during the pandemic, instead they sent him a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then, just like the Verizon guy, he ended up being sponsored by Truly.
Really?
Yeah. White Claw is terrible at business.
Man,
Fucking idiots.
Let me get to my show. You guys are taking too much time away from important matters, like me discussing Coachella, whatever happened to the band Right Said Fred, musicians who killed people, and movie characters we didn't know. But if you really look back, the characters were actually, if they were real people, we'd think they were sociopaths.
Well, and you're bearing the lead a little bit here, Pat.
Oh, no, I'm getting to it. Time permitting, I will allow Dylan and Nick to contribute to PMZ and their thought-out segments. If I sense any of these segments don't meet the standard of production that much of my audience has come to expect from me, I will yank both of them off the pod like the clown at the Apollo.
You can yank mine.
We're already giving up.
Huh? Well, I mean, I have kind of a half-baked bit, but I didn't really...
Flush it out?
I couldn't find what I needed.
Flesh it out.
Flush too. You've got to flush it out.
If we need time, I'll give it a shot. And I mean, I don't know. You guys know me. I lose confidence. It's probably fucking gold, but
yeah.
Dylan.
So we already won down. Well, how about you?
Dylan was practicing before we started. He's ready to go.
Pat, I know that you feel as though no one else could do this show. And I'm happy to let you keep thinking that while you suck down your Endless Afternoon. Go ahead, bitch. What stories do we have to get into tonight?
All right.
I saw a really funny tweet, day 368 of Coachella.
Did you know that music festival, the last 2 times they did it, they profit $100 million?
Oh, yeah.
They're in profitability territory.
Absolutely, dude.
Lost
Have you
money
guys
for
ever
years.
been?
No, have you?
Yeah.
Which year?
2009.
Oh, you saw Paul McCartney, The Killers, and The Cure.
No.
That was 2009's lineup.
Oh, maybe 2010.
2010. So you saw Jay-Z, Muse, and the Gorillaz.
The Gorillaz, yeah.
Okay, you didn't stick around for Jay-Z?
No, I didn't see Jay-Z. I think Radiohead was playing.
They do 2 weekends.
Yeah,
No,
but
it
it's
was
the
just
same lineup for the both.
It was one. It was only one.
Oh,
weekend
that's right.
back
They weren't
then.
doing 2 weekends in a row. They didn't really realize how they could monetize setting up a fucking
No,
Ferris wheel and a
Radiohead
stage.
was definitely there that year, as well as Phoenix.
Oh,
I think the Temper Trap was there that year. A lot of great bands.
well, funny. I'm going to be bringing up the last 15 years of the headliners of Coachella.
yeah,
Because I'd have to say after this weekend, which was headlined by my
Harry
favorite
Styles.
and Billie Eilish.
Yep.
It's all fine. But when I recount the last 15 years of headliner lineups, you can tell that Coachella is resting on their laurels. And
Well,
yeah,
it's
they
so-
just got the biggest stars in the world.
Yeah, it's so
resting on their
interesting.
laurels.
It's what I want to have happen to the Academy Awards. I want the most popular movies to be Academy Award worthy. And I'm not saying I want Marvel to win all the Academy Awards. I'm saying that I want to go back to when Gladiator and Saving Private Ryan, even Kramer versus Kramer, chuck in something like
classic
that.
movie.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Platoon.
Coachella used to be headlined by bands like,
The Chili Peppers. They've done it 3 times.
yeah, but there used to be Coachella used to be more indie
The
than it is
Coachella
now.
Peppers.
It's been co-opted by Top 40 Radio.
Well, when I look on the list, so it started in 1999. And I
Right.
believe the first headliners were Beck and Rage Against the Machine.
Yep.
Okay. So, but they'd have on the undercard, they'd have a cajillion indie bands. They still do that,
Yeah,
though,
yeah,
to
yeah.
your point, but on the main stage.
How many times were the Pixies and Pavement at Coachella?
Right. Probably every year.
Yeah.
On some stage there. Nick, you've never been?
No.
It's something I hope to do someday, but my wife and I discuss it where, well, I'm old. And then you have the kids. So the only way I would do it is if I do it VIP style.
That's the only way I'll ever go back to a music festival. Me and my wife were talking about it with friends this past weekend. We'd love to go back to a music festival, but it's like you said, and I quoted you when I was talking about the flight, when you said you're turning a corner. I bucked and said I'm not a Republican. Nick clarified, and you clarified, no, I'm getting older. I'll never voluntarily subject myself to the kind of punishment that these kids do each and every day of Coachella weekend.
When you're young, you don't mind being bitten by fucking mosquitoes all day long,
I
burning your
showed-
face in 120 degree sun.
Yes.
Well, it's between a bunch of sects, so why would you?
I
drugs.
showed up to
And drugs.
Coachella. We had no camping ground. We had tents, and that's it. We went into the volunteer camp area and just told everyone we were working there. That's where we slept the entire weekend. We just lied to everybody and said
And
we
no
were
one gave you any
volunteer.
shit, right?
No one gave us any shit.
I have a hard-on for that mischief. What a thrilling time that must have been.
I was 19 years old. Yeah.
Wow. It's fun. I will do it someday. It's definitely on my bucket list. I definitely want to do it.
I think it kind of applies like his don't go places. I would say like don't do things ... unless you go VIP. Like Disney, you need the fast pass.
Yes.
Right.
Anything. Don't wait in line with the rest of the cattle. Otherwise, you're just waiting in line with cattle.
You know what?
Look
Why
at
not
this.
a stage for podcasters?
Basejo who endures alternate art borderless foil.
Dylan?
It's $150.
This is time out. Time out.
Sorry.
20-second timeout, Dylan.
Data mining. Sorry.
Nope. Add 5 seconds.
I want to take some seconds off. I'm curious what he means.
That's all right. We can do it on his time, not my time.
Okay.
I'm going to be breaking down Judd.
Add 10 seconds.
Well, can you tell him what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
My segment where I break down the Judd Apatow.
You could break down Judd Apatow? What about him?
Well, I told you we're going to do notes on a scene.
Oh, that's what you're going to do. I forgot.
Ryan Coogler versus Judd Apatow. One is thoughtful and actually breaking down his cinema,
Okay,
and the
time
other
in.
is Judd Apatow.
That's going to be your segment.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you don't let me get to my stuff that the audience wants to hear, how am
I
I ever
also
going
have
to
a
get to you?
Dilly's pick.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time you're going to try and eat up. I don't
I
want
got a
this to be an hour
2-minute,
and a half.
40-second trailer we're going to play and not speak any words while it's going on.
You know what? For that, 30-second timeout.
You know what? Fuck it. I got an Ask Nick.
Woo!
Woo-wee! Nikki.
Guys, I don't know if we're gonna have time for all this, so let me get to it.
We had a C-Rat cancel on us. Let's really fucking spread our wings on this one, huh, Pat?
I'd rather
Pat
go in the
wants to
house
be
and watch
inside
Married at
and-
First Sight.
Don't watch Married at First Sight. Watch my pick, Severance. Now, guys, this is directed by
30-second timeout. Both. We're talking about Coachella right now, and I want the audience, the little patties right now, with the greatest of fervor. I want you to get in that comment section as you're listening to this, because I know you're just as pissed off as I am.
Say, shut up, Dylan.
Dylan, have it. And yes, keep it simple. Shut up, Dylan, with 3 exclamation points.
I love that.
That will send a message to him not to interrupt PMZ.
Love
now,
it.
we're running this show into the ground, and I will no longer allow it, Dylan. Be quiet. All right. So Billie Eilish and Harry Styles. I know, Nick, they're huge, but are they huge enough, and have they done enough in music to legitimize them headlining? Of course they have a stage. Of course they should be able to perform at Coachella. But this great opportunity to showcase your talents on one of the most popular festivals on the planet Earth,
Yeah.
I don't think they're ready for it.
Do you think Beyonce is ready for it?
Oh, yeah, I'll get to that. It's funny you mention that.
The
Because,
greatest Coachella performance of all time.
And, you know, she didn't have a lot of time to pull that together. That was she replaced Lady Gaga. She jumped in. That was a fill-in performance.
I thought
Lady Gaga dropped out and she filled in for her.
I
Or
thought
maybe it was the other way
it
around.
was the other way around because
Oh, was-
Beyonce got pregnant, so she actually had a year and a half to work on it, and it showed. It's the greatest Coachella performance of all time.
She was feeling blue.
Okay. So get this. Billie Eilish performed. Why don't we do a sample of Billie? Now, guys, I know it. Go ahead. Let Patty have it in the comments. Go, hey, old man, you don't understand it. You're not 14 years old. You don't understand the genius of this. I will say this. Fine. Perhaps there's genius in this. Every fucking song she has is this slow, dirge, depressing. You're playing a music festival. You want people jumping up and down. They came here to forget all their problems,
Right.
not come here to be depressed.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this performance sounded like. I'm going to give you 3 quick 15-second clips back to back of her playing at the performance here. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
This is like a middle school talent show where they allow cursing.
Right.
All right, there's going to be another one here. That one's not that bad. It picks up the pace a little bit.
Oh yeah, who's that guy? He's so talented.
Yeah.
I agree. What is that guy's name? Rashad or something?
Some of the guest appearances at this this year's Coachella were bigger than Shania Twain showed up. I want to say Justin Bieber showed up and did like 2 peaches with some artist on stage.
That song about slaves.
Daniel Caesar, one of my favorites.
Yeah, and a couple other notable. I think Snoop Dogg showed up, did a couple songs with someone. So, all right. So here's my issue. So that's really boring. You were going to say you agreed with me, Dylan?
Okay, so Billie Eilish's music all sounds exactly the same, but there's no denying that she is a tour de force. I mean, she's so incredibly talented. Her voice is magnificent. Watch our Oscars performance, performing that bummer James Bond song that sounds like every other song she's ever done. She just has a God-given gift.
Fair enough. She even noted on stage, I don't know if she was trying to be self-deprecating, but she said, I'm sorry I'm not Beyonce. Well, you are not Beyonce. Now,
No, she is not.
I started this. I watched that whole concert with her. I think she had the USC marching band do that whole concert with her, which was pretty insane. Very entertaining.
Incredible.
All right.
So is the point of this segment another banger in a long list of headliners for Coachella?
No, it's the exact opposite. Wait till I start reading the years past of the headliners that they had in a particular year, and you tell me if it's up to snuff of Harry Styles and Billie Eilish.
Now, don't shit on Harry Styles because he is the best part of One
15
Direction.
years dating back. 2008, here's who was on the stage. Prince.
Yeah.
Roger Waters, a little band called Pink Floyd that wrote the classic album The Wall or
Right.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Right.
He basically performed all the songs from both
Yeah.
those records.
Yep.
And Jack Johnson just to sprinkle in a little hippy dippy bullshit.
Right.
2009, a little artist you might have heard of named Paul McCartney,
Yeah.
a fucking Beatle, and The Cure. Gee, maybe one of the most popular, iconic alternative bands of 1980.
Right, and also one of the most overrated.
Fair enough. But
Also, Harry and Billy, both wildly more talented than Jack.
Oh my God, yeah.
if it was being headlined just by Jack Johnson. Okay, hold on.
Shut up.
The Killers
Oh, I
also
like
were that
it.
year. All right, 2010, Gorillaz, Muse. I don't like Muse, but they are popular.
They were a big live band.
Big live band.
Yeah.
They sound like all their music's made in a computer. And Jay-Z. Gee, that's quite a lineup. All right, next
And the
year.
Gorillaz were rumored to become unveiled for the first time that year.
Oh, they showed their faces?
They did not show their faces. It was all this big kind of... they projected their characters
They've been doing this
on
forever. Let
stage.
me warn anybody. They played the Palladium in 2005. I was outside. They go behind a projected thing. You never see the actual artist on
You
stage.
don't.
You just stare at a silhouette of their images.
But my God, did they have so many guests on that? Because that entire album, they had Snoop Dogg, all these guests came out. And a problem with Coachella, Sunday night, a lot of the times is the biggest band.
Yeah.
What do you expect people to do? Take ecstasy and then drive out of fucking
Yeah,
Palm
their kids
Springs?
make a week out of it. All right, I'll wrap this up really quick. I'll just go really rapid fire. 2011, Arcade Fire, The Strokes, Kings of Leon, and Kanye West. 2012, Radiohead, Black Keys. I can't stand that band. But Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and a, what do you call that? Like a what was that image of? Hologram of Tupac, which took down the show.
internet.
It was insane. Next year, Blur, The Stone Roses, Phoenix, Red Hot Chili Peppers. That seems a little soft.
Yep.
The following year, 2014, Outkast, Muse, Arcade Fire. All right, we're losing some. But then 2015, triumphantly coming back with AC/DC, Jack White, and Drake. I'd say that's one of the best.
Me and Cece are going to see Jack White in May.
I've seen him like 3 times.
It's one of the best live shows I've ever seen.
So the night I saw him,
God, he's incredible.
he played on Friday and Saturday night. Friday night, completely different set that would be played on Saturday.
Yep.
All guy band on Friday, all girl band on Saturday.
Yep.
One of the best shows I ever saw.
And I like the mix of those styles, though. You got the classic rock, you got modern rock, and you got...
I understand I'm a little older,
rap.
so my dick's a little harder for AC/DC than it would be for
A
you
little.
guys.
I'm in seriously,
AC/DC.
All right, here we go. Let me wrap this up.
Is Angus Young dead?
No, he lost his voice though, so that's why they have people filling for him. But I think it's gotten better. All right, I'm wrapping this up. 2016, LCD Sound System. I've seen them live. That's an incredible show. Guns N' Roses, Calvin Harris, and 2017, Radiohead, Lady Gaga, Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar is the greatest live performance.
Next year,
I've
The
ever
Weeknd, Beyonce, Eminem. And then this is where it totally falls off. 2019, right before that dreaded pandemic, Childish Gambino, way overrated, never a headliner. I remember seeing that going, what the fuck?
That was after the after the This Is America album.
Yeah,
Which
okay.
that music video is one of the greatest, I don't know, musical even pieces of cinema of all time, but the rest of that album kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, do you know who Tame Impala is? That's
They're one of my favorite bands.
Oh, okay, they were there. And then you got to give it Ariana Grande. And then finally, we took 2 years off, and now we have Billie Eilish and Harry. So after I listed those headliners that
And
you
don't
saw,
forget Swedish House Mafia.
Oh, right. They
Yeah.
were Sunday or something to
They
fill
filled
in
in
for
Kanye,
Ye.
yeah.
For Ye. I was wondering, I'm like, who the hell is Ye? That's how fucking old I
Did he
am.
get booted because of the problematic approach that he's made towards Pete Davidson?
No, he canceled.
Pulled himself.
Yeah.
He canceled?
Yeah. She's Kanye. I don't know.
Okay.
So, hey, producers of Coachella, two pieces of advice.
Keep
sure
it up.
Get better headliners. Like, get Madonna there next year or something. Throw some classic stuff in there for fun for the kids. You know what I mean?
What the fuck?
You know she'd put on a show. All right. The other thing is, how about having a stage for podcasters, right? It's like a multimedia kind of thing. We'll show up there. We'll come for free if you give us a free hotel and some booze and a stage to entertain the masses.
We'll blow the roof off that desert.
They should have a podcasting element to it. All right.
It's insane that they don't.
Outside Lands has a comedy stage.
Maybe we'll play there. Hey, sad fact. I bet you guys didn't know this. On average,
Whoa.
it's about Coachella.
Okay, but a little pomp, a little circumstance. I mean, my God.
I don't think, is this the officially, wow, I didn't know that?
Yeah, that's wow. I didn't know that.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
why
then
was
a
it
little pomp
delivered
and a little
with such-
circumstance.
Wow. I bet you didn't know this.
Thank you.
It's never reported by the news because I'm pretty sure those Coachella producers sweeten the deal with the news people over there in the Coachella Valley.
Indian burial ground.
On average, 3 deaths related to overdoses and traffic accidents per year.
Yep.
Can you imagine having a business where every year you can factor in that 3 people will die as a result of coming to it?
Yep.
I wonder how the math works out on that, because how many people go over a course
It's
of
it's 140,000 people.
3 people and 140,000? I feel like they're going to die in a matter of days. Is that...
Hey, we shut down an entire planet for those kind of
Yeah.
Hey, let's take a quick break to watch this TMZ video. Bethany Frankel takes a hard fall while roller skating. This is going to be good.
It sounds good. Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't fall hard on roller skates.
This is not a rogue platform. This is PMZ. 30-second timeout for that, Dylan. This is not APS. If you want to put this on APS, you're welcome to do that. This is not a free format. There is no free speech at PMZ. This is a well-produced, oiled comedy machine, okay?
Well-produced, oiled comedy machine.
That's right.
You're on timeout.
Yeah.
You're just getting fucked with timeouts. He is being quite grating, but I'm doing a bit where I'm on his side.
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
I'll interrupt.
I have a new segment.
Enough for the both of us.
I have a new segment. And maybe there'll be enough time for you guys. All right. The new segment is movie characters we loved, but in real life, we'd probably insist they be in jail for what they did in the movie. I'm going to feature Mrs. Doubtfire. Are you guys familiar with the plot of Mrs. Doubtfire?
Of course. It's our generation's movie.
It is. You watch it anytime it comes on. You have to watch it to the end.
Don't have to, but it was very, very incremental. Nope, wrong word.
Instrumental.
Instrumental. Very, very important to us as youngsters.
Doodaloo!
Well, let me remind the audience of the plot. So this character played by Robin Williams, his name's Daniel Billard. He's kind of a loser. Okay, he's kind of a fuck up.
Well, he aspires to be a children's,
right?
Kind of like a Mr. Who's the pedophile that everybody loves? Mr. Rogers. No, Mr. Rogers.
Oh. So anyway, he loses his job because of a fight at work. Then he comes home and it's his kid's birthday party, and he throws this crazy birthday party. And then his wife, Sally Field, comes home and said, "Hey, jackass, I want a fucking divorce. You're a horrible father. You're a loser. You're not a provider.
Yep.
And you're creating a chaotic lifestyle for the family."
Yep.
So she takes him to court. This is all in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Right.
And the judge gives sole custody to the wife.
Right.
So what does he do? He's got to become Miss Doubtfire, right? And so he's a guy that wants to see his kids and keep an eye on his wife, who's fucking Pierce Brosnan.
And he's got that friend that sounds like
that's Harvey Firestein. That's who
him.
does all his makeup and transforms him into Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yep.
So let me get into this. I'll cover some ground I just did. Though a devoted father to the 3 children, his wife Miranda considers him unreliable. So he's going to get custody contingent on him getting a job for 3 months and then creating a suitable residence. But he doesn't get to see the kids until he does that. Yeah. So one could argue she's kind of being mean. Yeah. Now, this is where things become problematic. Because as Daniel works to rebuild his life, securing himself an apartment and a new job as a shipping clerk at a TV station, he learns that Miranda needs a new housekeeper. And he secretly alters her classified ad form on her computer and then calls Miranda using voice acting skills to pose as undesirable applicants, okay? And he finally calls Miranda, and he got the name Miss Doubtfire from a new newspaper headline called Miss Doubtfire was accidental. So that's how he gets the name. Now, here's the first crime he commits. By going into her computer that day, okay? And what would be technically considered hacking. That's California hacking law. It's Penal Code 502. And in order to convict the person by prosecution, you need to prove that he knowingly accessed the computer and without the permission. He definitely did those things.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. All right. So then when he moves into the house, he insists upon going on a date by the pool with her new beau, played by Pierce Brosnan.
Great scene. Throws a lime straight at his face.
Also a little thing called stalking.
Right.
Stalking.
Right.
You can go to jail for that too.
Yeah.
Also, false impersonation. He's pretending to be somebody else during the entire film. That's Penal Code 529 PC, false impersonation. Right. Under California Penal Code, also called false impersonation, it's a criminal offense involving the use of someone else's name in order to cause harm or benefit to yourself. He definitely did that. Now, this is a beloved... I'm kidding, of course. But think about this. Mrs. Doubtfire is a beloved character. Stalking, hacking, false impersonation.
She's a criminal.
It's no wonder she didn't want them to see these kids.
She's a criminal many times over. But my God. Oh, not to mention, she hoodwinks that guy that wants to give him the dinosaur job.
Oh, remind me of that. By the way, this all came... I was watching Miss Doubtfire last night. Forgot how, is a really serious film, because in the final moments after he gets caught at that dinner where he had to, go back and forth between both tables.
He was trying to hoodwink the guy that gave him the dinosaur job.
Yeah, the dinosaur job. Well, the guy forgave him. He got the job anyway. Sally Field shows up after they go through this whole court case where the judge throws the fucking book at him.
Right.
And she confronts him and says, hey, I came down to see how you're doing. He said, you fucked up my entire life. My life's ruined because of you.
Right.
And then the movie ends kind of on a somber note where she says, I'll tell you what. You can stop by and see the kids.
Yeah, it's really a film.
What a wonderful family
It's
film.
a film about how women are bitches during divorces, and fun, kind of heartwarming, goofy guys just get shit on all the time in these divorce proceedings.
It's pretty crazy.
And I mean,
Think about it, people. You watch Miss Doubtfire with such love and fun, but really think about that character and such reverence. But Mrs. Doubtfire, or Daniel Radcliffe, or whatever the fuck his name is, he's an evil person.
Yeah, but he saved Pierce Brosnan's life in the end.
He did?
Yeah, he was choking on a piece of shrimp. The Heimlich maneuver saved his life.
I forgot about that part.
I had an Uber driver.
Look, all of us we're complicated people. Yeah.
I had an Uber driver one time. We were just kicking around Hollywood. He did voiceover. I don't know. He kept the lights on, except now he's driving Uber. But he told me there's a Robin Williams would ad-lib so much, and he would be very blue when he does it. And he says out there's a R-rated cut of Mrs. Doubtfire where Robin Williams is really letting it fly.
Really?
Yeah. That would be a really fun watch.
I love the other scene where he steers her towards the less sexy option for dresses at dinner because he's her husband. Yeah. Ooh. What a film.
All right, let me get through this next segment, and I'll contemplate allowing you guys to get to what you want to get to. All right, so I was going to do a segment about musicians who rolled a 7 on stage. They crapped out. You know what I mean?
I'm really sad that you've kowtowed to the actual phrase.
I didn't want to, but it is, what is it, grammatically correct? Because you technically can't roll 2 7s, I'm going to stick to my gun. You know what? I was going to do a
Was that the
segment.
first time he's ever done that?
No,
crack like that?
He's been doing it a little bit.
Yeah, I go back and forth, keep people on their toes.
See, that's a unique one, Jesus, and I think we could have Rollin' Sevens T-shirts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if they sell as well as the Wine Hack T-shirt, Dylan will be moving into his house in 2,200. Yeah. Okay.
I will live that long.
So I was going to do a segment on musicians who rolled 7s and shit out on stage, because there's a lot of people playing drums and had a fucking heart attack and just died at a jazz club. But I realized that was too macabre, so I decided to do a segment called Musicians Who Killed People. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, no, it's good to lighten it up.
Yeah. Okay. This is a crazy story that you guys are going to truly enjoy.
Are you dying?
No. Just the pollen. Dylan, pull up Lamb of the God, the song by the band. Have you heard of the band Lamb of the God? This is a whole different genre. We're very divided as a people, what people are into. I mean, someone's listening to some nice jazz.
No,
and then there's people that show up to festivals to hear this.
Lamb. It's called Lamb of God,
Oh.
and the song title is Memento Mori, my next tattoo on my neck.
What's it mean?
Remember you must die, I think.
Remember more.
That's fine. Hey, get to the chorus. Don't bore us. Oh, Jesus. Who wrote this? Billie Eilish? There we go. Okay.
Yep, I can't listen to that.
No. All right, but I wanted you to hear the band because I have a crazy story about this band. Okay, so this band, on June 27th, 2012, shows up to play a show in the Czech Republic, okay? The lead singer, the second he gets off the fucking plane, is arrested. They're supposed to play Prague the next night, but he's arrested, and the show has to be canceled. And he has no idea why he's being arrested. But police soon inform him he killed someone 2 years earlier when he was in the Czech Republic. Have you ever heard this story?
No.
Imagine walking on Earth.
I've never heard of the band, the song, or this guy.
Okay. So his name's Mark Blythe. So a spokesperson stated on June 29th, 2012, that police had formally charged Blythe under section whatever the fuck in the Czech criminal code, which contains the intentional infliction of bodily harm resulting in death. And he faced between 5 and 10 years of imprisonment if found guilty. So here's what happened.
He shot a fucking guy in the head? At the
No,
Czech
that's
Republic?
another one that I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
It was actually a 16-year-old fan, but back to this one.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. They played a gig 2 years earlier at a club that had very little security, and fans kept jumping on the stage. And because fans were jumping on the stage, Mark would push them off the stage back into the crowd.
Got
and
it.
of course, it's a mosh pit or something like that. But one particular fan jumped up twice, and Mark directed a security guard to toss him. Seconds later, the same fan came up for a third time, or
Thrice.
so Mark thought. He's thinking, hey, this security guard just kicked this guy the fuck out. Why is he back up on this stage in my face again?
Right.
Mistaken identity. It was a different kid. Angry that the security guard wasn't doing anything, he pushed the fan very hard off the stage and continued the show. What Mark didn't realize was that no one was there to catch the fall of that fan.
Wow.
He hit his head and smashed it on the concrete floor, killing him.
I say arrest the crowd.
You could. Now, 2 years later,
Yeah, do you
Mark
know
learns
why
he's being
they
accused
didn't-
of murder.
Why didn't they arrest the whole crowd?
I think that'd be a little tough to kind of figure out who was there. I mean, they didn't push the kid. Remember, it was the singer.
Kid sounds like a fucking loser.
Yeah, everybody's getting all rowdy. You should probably just arrest everybody.
So get this. He spends 5 weeks in jail.
Yeah.
The band doesn't get to tour. He's now a murderer, so he thinks he did kind of push a guy down, you know?
I'm deeply regretting calling that kid a fucking loser.
Oh, yeah, you did? So he gets to return to America, and then he's got to go back to the Czech Republic to face trial, where he could go to jail for like 10 years, right?
Why didn't they just move to Puerto Rico or something?
Well, all his attorneys said, do not go back for that trial.
yeah.
Don't fucking do it. And he said, you know what? He's probably thinking, hey, man, I got to tour here again. You know what I mean? I can't just be, who's that guy, Roman Polanski, where I can never go back to Europe. I'll always have to worry about if, they're going to arrest me when I show back up in Europe.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Roman can't come back here.
Right.
He's in Europe.
But he can't go anywhere.
Anywhere. Oh,
One time he went to Switzerland, and we had him arrested there, and the Swiss police actually allowed him to go back to France.
Oh, he's in France.
And that was 20 years later, so they never stopped. So anyway,
Well, he
And-
drugged
and-
and sodomized a 12-year-old girl, so.
yeah, I'm with you, bro.
And yet Will Smith is suspended from the Academy.
I know. I was like, when they were, kind of juggling that idea, I was like, please don't get him to get out of the Academy, because that's such a slippery slope. You've got Woody Allen. Woody Allen really didn't do anything. Harvey Weinstein, Roman Polanski.
And did you hear the other crazy story? The first guy ever be kicked out? Remember how your mother's a member of the Academy?
I thought he was about to say your mother's a fraud.
Dylan, your mother's a member of the Academy?
Yeah.
You get all the screeners?
Yeah.
This one dude was the first dude that was getting the screeners, and he was making copies, and he had a full-on business, and they fucking threw him out of the Academy for it.
Wow.
See, I mean, the first one, you're gonna get caught, brother.
Yeah, brother.
They have those codes on the screen.
Yeah.
Come on,
we get the
brother.
Bravo screeners. They say Pat Hickey.
So get this. Let me wrap this up.
Come on, brother.
Let me wrap this up. He showed back up, and he was found not guilty, not because he didn't kind of do it, but insufficient evidence. They couldn't have witnesses say that was where he fell, and this guy did this. And
Got it.
But can you imagine being the singer? I'd still feel guilty. He just, I checked in on him. He's suffering from depression now, and he's got a bad drinking problem. I think he's in rehab as we speak.
Oh, cool. Good for him.
All right, let's get to my next one here. Have you guys ever heard of Big Lurch?
No, I've never.
Oh, Big Lurch was a big deal. Here, play a little clip of Big Lurch. This is 2000.
Fuck yeah.
Here, don't bore us. Get to the chorus. Oh. You want to know what he did? You want to know what he did?
He shot someone in the head.
No.
He's talking about fucking serial killers right now, so.
No. He murdered his 20-year-old roommate, Tanisha Yazis, and he ate parts of her body, including her lungs.
Well, that track goes hard, though. We got to separate the man from the
that
music.
track
We're singing
does
about
go
Jeffrey Dahmer
pretty
there.
hard.
Did you catch that?
Yeah,
Yep,
he did.
I did.
Yeah.
And he told me.
Can you imagine being the coroner? I read the little thing. I don't want to get into it because it's really gory. The coroner like unzips the bag and he's like, "Where's the fucking lung?"
Right. And he's like, "I ate it."
Yeah.
I mean,
Can you imagine if Coldplay shows up at your apartment
and eats you?
well, they kill you first, hopefully. Hey, that's Coldplay.
Oh, why are you doing that? Stop it.
That's probably what people thought when Big Lurch did it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Big Lurch.
Turns out, I don't know if PCP's around anymore. Or,
That was going to be my question.
Yeah.
Was this bath salts drugs?
he was high on PCP.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You don't just eat people. I mean, even the... I don't know. I don't think you just eat people. Not when you can flow like that.
Yeah. All right, let me get to one more guy that killed a guy. All right, so C Murder. I guess it kind of comes with the name. I know C Murder. I worked for him at Music Grinder Studios.
Oh, wow.
And he was a scary individual.
Wow. I mean, inside Podcast Baseball, before we start, Pat sends links of the stuff he's going to play to who's ever putting them on screen, and Brian the editor. And Brian the editor, right before we started, I got a text. He's like, "What'd you guys talk about C Murder for?" He's going to be thrilled to know you have a direct connection. He's really excited to hear where this goes.
Oh, yeah. He was at the
And I
Music
am
Grinder
too.
Studios for about a full week. That's when a record company called No Limit Records was going to be the predominant, equal to Death Row.
Yeah. Make him say,
Make him say, That guy went to jail. I worked with Mystic, too. He went to jail for raping a girl.
Mystical.
Mystical. He went to
Did I
jail
ever tell
for
you about
raping
the
a girl.
time
Yeah.
me and Cece got pulled over to go to that music recording studio in Ventura and Cahuenga?
Oh,
No.
Tracks? It's on Vineland.
No.
Were you driving the tracks, he was asking?
No, we were driving. There was a Lamborghini that had kit lights on the front, and me and Cece were smoking a bowl. We were like 22, 23. We were smoking a
They're
bowl.
a cute couple.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and these two guys, these two rappers were in this Lamborghini, and me and Cece were like, "Cool car," and they were like, "Come to the studio," and we were like, "Okay," and we followed them in, and we went into the studio. They started playing their track, which they said was going to be a huge hit. It never was, but we just took a bunch of bong rips and stuff with the entire crew, and there was one Jewish producer, and then me and Cece weren't really adding anything to the conversation because we were so stoned out of our minds,
Yeah.
and then we left the studio.
That was it.
Can I say, Dylan, I just said how cute you guys are, and it is cute, and I love that you guys were doing stuff together, and you're really adventurous. Like, that's really fun. You know, I love mischief. It was super irresponsible
Yep.
Yeah.
of you. Those gentlemen wanted to run train on your pretty little blonde girlfriend.
Yeah, she's brunette.
You want to know what happened to that studio?
What, she was never been blonde?
She's had highlights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Either way, that was
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of that studio, but it burned down 4 years ago. But it didn't burn down on its own or electrical fire. A rapper shot two people that he was with at the studio, and then to cover his tracks, lit the entire building on fire.
Brilliant move. Let's listen to a little C Murder.
Okay, so this
great
character,
tats.
he always wore sunglasses and a baseball cap in studio. I have to tell you, it was really nice. His name, C Murder, was pretty intimidating in 1997. He sold 1 million records with his debut album. So in 2002, he was convicted of beating and fatally shooting a 16-year-old fan at a nightclub called Platinum in Louisiana. So I guess he was pissed that he wasn't getting in the club, and I think he was really just trying to shoot the bouncer or the door guy, but of course, stray bullet took the 16-year-old out, and yeah. So in 2002, he was convicted. He appealed it. These things drag on. By the way, don't ever murder anybody. You're going to be in the fucking court system for years with all these appeals and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a short thing. It's
And
not-
are you in jail while you're appealing?
No, they let him get out on house arrest, and he continued to make records and also commit a few more crimes.
Oh, wow.
So get this. So
He's addicted to the game, man.
it turns out it's one
Married.
of these things where
Why do you have to be so nefarious?
the jury came back guilty, but then they go on to find out two of them got their arms twisted because people are like, "Hey, we're never going to let you out of here." I've actually been on a jury where I'm like, "No, I'm not going along with this," and like, we work for the gas company. We're happy to be paid here we'll stay here another month and a half. So I'm like, fine. So then you make these little deals to kind of make it work. I wasn't on a jury for a murder, by the way. But anyway, so this case is still going today. This case what is it, 20 years later, is still under appeal because 2 witnesses have recently taken back, what do you call that, recant your testimony.
Speaking of murdering people, I'm a little concerned with the way that Nick is holding this bottle opener.
Why is that?
I don't know. He's looking pretty stabby with it.
I mean, I was just listening to those jams, hearing about C Murder. I might eat you
Can
guys.
you imagine being a rapper named C Murder and you never actually murder anybody? I mean, you kind of had to do it.
Yeah.
Walk the walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you can't be a fraud.
All right, I have 2 more things to get to, but I have decided, because you 2 have behaved yourself so well through that last segment, that I will let you get to whatever the fuck you want.
Can I
And
know
you
what
know the
you're-
perimeters?
Dylan, you can go, and then before I go, I want to know what the options are for the segments. Or maybe I'll do it.
You know what you got to do? Nick, you just got to go for it. Just take what's yours, brother. Just,
So Vanity Fair does a YouTube series called Notes on a Scene, wherein they have directors and actors come in and break down kind of like inside director's cuts with what's the marker called again?
Telestrator.
Telestrator. Yeah. So I wanted to juxtapose 2 different offerings from Vanity Fair. One, Black Panther's director Ryan Coogler, who is a very, very just a badass, incredible filmmaker, extremely thoughtful, as you can see when he breaks down the fight scene from Black Panther. And then after that, we'll play an offering from one of Pat's favorite directors, Judd Apatow.
I hate that bastard.
Let's take a listen to Ryan Coogler breaking down a fight scene.
Looks fierce and like a warrior. Different hairstyle than you see her in too. We had a big emphasis on Wakandans having natural hair. And there's a lot of motifs about femininity, especially black femininity here in this scene.
It's now or never.
Yes, you know, we cut to Okoye and we see her in this red dress. We accented it with gold to bring out a little bit of the Wakandan. And the gold is kind of a ranking system. But the more important thing here is that she's wearing this wig. For the Dora, a big thing for them is symbolism of their bald head. When they become Dora Milaje, they shave their head. It's something that's present in the comics. It's something we really ran with in this film. So for her, it's a dishonor for her to ever cover her bald head. But because she's on this mission, you know, she's got to kind of look like she's fitting into the Western world.
Now you can think, or you can see.
I would watch a movie and I wouldn't catch all the little nuances of all these things happening.
Oh my gosh.
But you enjoy the film more even though you don't notice them.
Well, when
That's
you do
the
know
thing.
it, it is kind of fun.
He's building
Yeah.
a texture. This is a fight scene. This is just an action scene.
I'd
But-
follow this man into war.
Oh my God.
He's so cool.
Everything that went into this scene.
Well, to be
down
fair,
to
you
the
write
most,
the comic book.
Right, but down to the most minute detail Ryan Coogler
He's
has had his
making-
hands on.
He's bringing it to the silver screen.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he's paying
Of
off.
course.
So this is
course.
incredible. Let's keep watching a little bit.
Okoye is isolated up here on the second floor. We want to turn it on his head because she's, you know, a really powerful warrior, and this is when you kind of get to see her shine. Big theme in this is tradition versus innovation. So we broke the characters down. Okoye is a traditionalist, so she fights with the traditional weapon, the African spear, always made out.
So everything that goes into this scene, down to the most minute detail, the colors of the Pan-African flag, the fighting styles between her and Lupita Nyong'o. I mean, this guy has put so much into this 2-minute scene. Now let's get to Judd Apatow breaking down a scene from Knocked Up.
You know what that reminded me of? Pat putting together a PMZ.
Yeah,
That kind of professionalism.
100%.
So
Attention
thought
to
out.
detail.
Now let's get to Judd Apatow breaking down a scene from Knocked Up.
Because they were so hungry. See, this is real hunger. And all the food is unhealthy. And then this usually leads to like a massive crash.
He's
So
fucking
you have to get the whole scene really fast.
bloviating about his daughter's performances. Great.
You guys want to hear something neat? We're gonna have a baby together.
What?
Yeah, baby.
Well, you're not married. Aren't you supposed to be married?
Are both them his crumb
You don't
crunchers?
have to be.
It was super important for them to
Because
keep
they love
Seth's
each other, and
curls.
people who love each other
show
get
us
married and have
Jewish.
babies.
The amazing Leslie Mann. And this house, a beautiful house on the west side in LA. And after this movie, we bought a house that looked just like it 8 houses away. Because we are demented.
Maybe he doesn't know what the format is or what he's supposed to do there. I don't know. He's not making anybody laugh. His bitch wife is there.
So Ryan Coogler has brought up the Pan-African flag, the motifs of gold being a hierarchical show of her status, tradition versus modernity, and what
the
Judd
naturalness to an Afro
woman's hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And what Judd Apatow has done is written unhealthy food, his wife's name,
Who he loves.
that they
I love her.
that they bought a house 8 houses away after this movie wrapped because they're so wealthy, and that they're demented people.
He's got one thing right there. You know, I wonder, Dylan, if you're first off, you
God!
could, some people could watch this and not know, and they go, "Well, he loves his goddamn family." Right? Why? Hey, but we know the story behind all this. She's a witch that yells at personal assistants and general workers at the house.
Yeah.
He's a bastard that won't pay a housekeeper to drive from Van Nuys to his rented Malibu mansion an extra $25 a day for gas money because it's they had a deal. They already agreed on it would be $200 a day.
Right.
Yeah, he's a fucking prick.
Yeah.
God, I wish people would expose him as an asshole.
Well, I mean, there are little burps of it on display. I mean, you can see the difference between the two men here. You know, Ryan Coogler is incredible. So passionate about what he does. And Judd Apatow is just like, I'm a celebrity. Everybody knows Leslie Mann. She's my hot wife. Let me write her name on this telestrator and offer no insight into this scene whatsoever.
The guy is such a blowhard. I hate that he's successful. Hey, question: would that other director do before Black Panther?
He's done Creed. He did the Creed movies.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right,
which aren't very good. I'm not a huge.
Did he do
fan
both of them?
Yeah, I think so. Let's pull this up. Black Panther. Oh, Fruitvale Station. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was probably his thing because
Yeah.
that was really indie. Is that John Boyega on that?
Oh, gross. He did Space Jam 2. Paycheck, though. He's just cashing in.
Oh, paycheck.
Did he do Space?
I don't know.
Maybe he was a producer on it.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, he was a producer.
Oh, thank jeez.
Yeah, Malcolm D. Lee.
Jeepers.
Did
I would
Space
have
Jam
not
2.
followed him into battle anymore. They bastardized the
Yeah,
original.
and he didn't do Judas and the Black Messiah either.
Producer,
but he-
probably.
He was instrumental in getting that over the line. Yeah, Shaka King, who doesn't like white people, but this movie is incredible if you haven't seen it. Judas and the Black Messiah.
Wow, that was fun, Dylan. Good job.
Thanks.
What do you got?
I got one. Off the heels. I mean, I'm telling you, when we filled in or we honored your source material, APS Presents PMZ, I did a segment. I'm still getting letters, handwritten letters from to this day. And it was, of course, called Ask Nikki. And a lot of people loved it, actually, just because of the outcome that I didn't really control. I mean, it was about the afterlife, something, and just because this is the questions you pulled, you were sent in. You can't control and make ghosts. I can't do that. I just got lucky. I figured out that it was a ghost.
Right. Yeah.
But I didn't make it to be a ghost. So, like, that's why I was so worried about trying to duplicate my success with another Ask Nikki.
Yeah, lightning doesn't strike a bottle in half twice.
Well, let's see if it does.
All right. Dear Nikki, a friend of mine lost her husband a couple of years ago. I didn't think she was looking for love or companionship, but all of a sudden she has met a younger man, and I'm concerned. I have observed several red flags, but I'm not sure if I should say something. She owns a big home in the city and another smaller, very nice one with a view of the lake in a resort town 3 hours away. This man has posted on his Facebook page a picture of his new cabin. I don't think there have been any details regarding who else was there. I looked at his Facebook pictures and saw one of his daughter, who looks to be around 13, along with several pictures of a woman I assume to be his beautiful significant other posing with him and his daughter. On my friend's birthday, he showed up at her door with a huge bouquet, balloons and all. She called a mutual friend about the flowers and was all giddy. The scenario makes me suspect he's a predator who may start asking her for money. What, if anything, should I do? Friend seeing signs. Well, friend, You're seeing
signs.
You're seeing signs, but they are the wrong ones. Because once again, in a case of lightning cracking a bottle in half twice, we are talking about
a ghost.
This is an instance of the afterlife.
Yeah.
The young man who is now courting your mother is in fact your father.
Yeah.
And he's returned into younger form to kind of start the marriage off on the right foot like he never did because of your shotgun wedding because you got pregnant out of wedlock.
Yeah, and you have to be an idiot to not see what's going on.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, yes. No praise on me again.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is embrace this man, welcome him into your home, and forgive him. Tell him you forgive him. Look him in the eye, forgive him. He will most likely vanish.
Yes.
And that other family you're seeing, I don't really have an explanation.
Yeah, I was going to ask
that.
about that.
But the cabin makes complete sense. Your mother has purchased that for the premonition to keep him away from the regular public because he would give off ghost vibes and then people would start asking questions.
Yeah.
And the Ghostbusters would be called.
Right.
Segment's
After
called
people found out.
Ask
who to
Nikki.
call.
But I will say, if it is not a premonition from the afterlife,
it is.
But if it's not,
and
it could be a con man, watch Tinder Swindler on Netflix. That could be what's going on there. Maybe a con man.
Yeah, but I would definitely say to forgive him out loud if you don't feel like having a kind of apparition floating around and spooking people out. That'll probably make him vanish. But if it doesn't, just buckle up and enjoy being married to that man one more time.
No, this is the daughter.
Yeah.
But
that's all right.
That's the message you should pass along to your mother. And also, I just have to implore you not to watch the Tinder Swindler unless it's for pure pleasure, and in fact hire some sort of medium who will be able to convey that you do forgive him. You forgive your father.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
Ask Nikki. I think we did a show, right?
Ask Nikki.
Definitely did a show. Are you going to watch Severance tonight?
I don't know if I'll watch tonight. I'd probably watch Married at First Sight, and then I'll, call it a night. Wake up.
Why would you watch Married at First Sight?
Because that wife wants to watch that.
Let me play you the trailer for Severance. This is a segment called Dilly's Picks.
All right, keep it brief.
Everybody's been talking about this show. Just give it a shot, Pat. Let's watch this.
Every time you find yourself here, it's because you chose to come back.
It's not getting a lot of buzz.
Yes, it is. Nick, isn't everybody talking about
Hello.
Severance?
My name is Mark S. And
Everybody's talking about Severance.
Everybody's talking about Severance. It's the new Squid
undergo
Games.
the procedure known as severance. I give consent to sever my memories between my work life and my personal life. I acknowledge that once the procedure is complete, I will be unable to access my personal memories whilst on the severed floor.
Say gratitude.
So you're living two different lives. You got your work life and you got your personal life, and they're both completely separate. One would argue, look, I'm going to wrap up. This is my work life, what I'm doing right now.
Right.
When I walk out this door in 5 minutes, I'm going to be in my enjoyable personal life.
Right.
Not in work mode.
Right.
I can forget
but
all
what
about
happens
this.
to your personal life when you lose 8 hours a day? Completely gone. What happens to your work life when you start to realize that this existence is a prison? You exist only here ever. That person is a person too, right? You'll have existential panic just like the outside one. What happens when your work person realizes they can never leave?
Oh, I see.
Philosophical questions get raised here. And you start to wonder what insidious people are behind this operation.
All right, this way, I like the plot. All right, I'm pulled in here, Dylan. I'm going to have to talk Sheree into watching this. She doesn't like series. Let me ask you this.
Scary. It is so creepy and unsettling.
I don't want a season 2. Like, if they're just going to do this and make a bunch of money, like, did you watch all of it?
There's only going to be 2 seasons.
How do you know that?
One season exploring this, and the second season exploring the people behind the company.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you do a spoiler? What do they do at the company? Will that spoil too much?
It'll spoil too much.
Would you find out in the first season?
It would spoil too much, Patrick.
Okay. All right. I'll watch it when she goes to bed.
Yeah, and everybody, if you have seen Severance, jump in the iTunes or in the comments and let us know how good it is. Pat, look at this. 98% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 94 audience score.
Just for S and giggles.
Impressive.
Just for S and giggles, give me the one negative review.
Okay.
That's always fun. It's it can be very telling as well.
Where are the reviews? Why the heck don't they give you?
I think I know how you. Dan Erickson, the creator. Is this the same guy that did that Devs that you liked?
No, that is Alex something. He did Annihilation and he did Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's good.
He's very, very good. No, this is a different guy. And the entire thing is spawned from a self-help book that he read and kind of creeped him out, I think. And so he created this horrifying, clean, sanitized thriller.
Okay.
It is
I like a thriller.
so good. And it is a thriller. Watch the pilot. The last moment in the pilot, your jaw will hit the floor, and you'll be like, oh, my God.
Are you selling the shit out?
Here we go.
All right, I'm in. I'll give a full review next week.
Directed by Ben Stiller.
Is that right?
The entire season, yeah.
Okay. He did a good job with that. Those two prisoners that escaped.
Okay, that's it for us. It's been a brand spanking new episode of the 45-minute broken up monologue called PMZ. Bump, bump, bump.
Bump, bump, bump. Nick.
Bump, bump, bump.